Too much of the wall. There you go. Oh, we can fit more people. Okay, we're live.
Isn't it amazing?
All right. Okay, we're trying to fit like everybody in the office. We're trying to fit everybody in the office for a little while. So, and then I have this big light on me, but
Sit here in the middle.
everybody. Oh, here. All right, scoot over.
Sit here.
Yeah, so they can sit here. Okay, this is good. Oh wow, we can fit everybody in one screen. This is pretty cool. Okay, so if you guys can hear us, then definitely tell us that you can hear us. If you're, what happened? Okay, if you can hear us, yay! We have 17 people on the webinar, and then we have over there on Facebook Live a bunch of you guys. Please let us kind of recuperate. It took us a while to fit all of us in this little space, so I have a severe amount of trauma on this right now. So Erin says they can hear us. Say hi to Erin, everybody. Hey, Erin. That's awesome. That sounds like we're a choir. Clavon says we can't hear you. Okay, Clavon, how come you can't hear us? Maybe you can hear us now. Can you hear us, Clavon? Tell us if you can hear us. Very important that you guys hear us. Let me write it here. Let me keep this here. Can you hear us? All right, Gus, you keep an eye on your chat and make sure.
I'm watching it.
Okay. Can you hear us? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So they can hear us. All right. Woo! So we're doing the Facebook Live. We got 3 people there. We've got 18 people coming in so far in the webinar, and we were able to squeeze everybody in this little space here. We want to take a moment to just introduce ourselves all the way from Australia, you guys. That is so cool. That's awesome. I think it's morning over there. I want to go to Australia. Who wants to go to Australia here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on. So it is so cool. Everybody's in, you guys. It's really awesome. We want to introduce ourselves. We want to thank you. Please tell us what state you are definitely bringing in, your visit from. We love that you're in Australia. Whatever state you're in, tell us hi. 11 in the morning in Australia, you guys. So it's the next day. This is pretty awesome. Here we are in Homestead, and we want to introduce ourselves. So we're the Solis family. There is one member that has been replaced because we didn't like them too much. So we just replaced them for Ashley. So Jenny says, hello, it's so nice to see the family. Thank each of you for your time, Orlando, Florida. Okay, that's so awesome. And what are you reading over there in Facebook? You can tilt it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. That is all. We can tilt it. I just don't know if you guys are going to get everybody. We won't be able to fit everybody. So we're going to be like twisting our heads. But let us introduce ourselves. Let's start with the oldest in the family. He's looking around like, who's that? All right.
Hi, I'm Gus.
All right. He's the papa of the family. I am Shirley. I am the mama of the family. Then we have.
I'm Nick. I'm the second oldest in the family.
And the most handsome. Oh. Then we have.
Alexis is like, all right.
I'm Alexis, the 3rd oldest in the family, and obviously the most handsome. So
we have.
Lady watchers.
He's not joking. Not joking. All right. So Tennessee, we're getting people. Leah, welcome Tennessee. Oh, she's saying welcome Tennessee. Lori says, thank you for letting us meet your family and see how you hold a family meeting. Lori and John Everett in Washington State, you guys.
Cool.
All right, so next, let's meet.
My name is Ria. I'm the 4th. I'm the oldest. I'm the 4th, and I'm the oldest girl.
Yeah, awesome. Then
Lucas.
and you are how old?
10.
10, and you are?
Isabella.
And Isabella, how old are you?
7.
Yes, 7. And then we're gonna meet our new member of the family.
Kind of new. I'm the girlfriend of this one here. I'm Ashley.
She's not new. She's like 2 years.
Yeah, I'm like 2 years old.
Into the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And they are the perfect little couple. Like they're always perfectly trimmed and gorgeous.
No,
looking.
like also like outwardly perfect is what she's trying to say. Inwardly.
So we wanted to invite Ashley because it was just very unique. She's been in the process of us creating our mission statements. This ugly background that you see back here, this is the process that we use to create our family mission statement. And we did it like in 2 or 3 meetings, right, you guys? Took us about 2 to 3 meetings. Anyway, we And we want to tell you what that looks like. But first, so we get Angela that says, hello, everyone. Shiara from New York. Juliana from Minnesota. Such a contest. You're all the most handsome, Clavon says. We love Clavon.
We're missing Big Guy.
We're missing Big Guy. I don't know,
Gus.
he's missing in action, Gus Jr. We call him Big Guy since he was a month old. No, he had something to do, so he's not with us, but maybe he'll come in a little later, right? So why don't you guys tell us, like, what's our family meeting? We have a family meeting every week.
They said we can't see Mia.
That's what I was.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
move in
hanging
here.
out, though.
Yeah.
She's just not.
I know. I told her to scooch in here.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yay! All right. Woo! So we have a family meeting almost every week. Now that the boys have gotten older, it's a little bit harder to do. But for years, we've done a family meeting. We still try to have our family meeting pretty much weekly, or have some sort of kind of get together once a week where we can get an update on how the family's doing. Sometimes those have looked like the most beautiful encouragement moments where everybody cries, and sometimes it looks like
It's
a fist
messy.
fight.
Yeah, it's messy.
like really messy, and
everyone cries anyway.
Yeah, it's the bad cry.
the ugly cry, and it gets rough. But
Or-
We've had laughing ones.
We also have
Not
the
yet.
ones where we laugh so hard that we cry. So most family meetings,
But some
if
start
you're
out
not crying,
messy.
you're not doing it right.
No, but some start out messy and they end like. Actually, that's how
Yeah,
it ends up most of the time.
most of the
So
time.
it comes out. If it's messy, it always ends well.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
never ends badly.
Pretty much.
and we want to come to you guys and tell you this has not been rehearsed. We didn't plan anything like. I didn't tell them what
Yeah,
we
I
were
was
doing.
like, I had no idea we were doing this. To be honest, no idea.
So it's very like everything that we do, we come to you guys not like this perfect family, because you guys should have seen what this looked like about 30 minutes ago. I was having like heart palpitations. There was a lot of like stuff happening, but I was texting with a friend who just happened to say, Shirley, like I'm looking forward to this webinar and I'm going to encourage you. And what I said is like, oh my gosh, it looks really bad here. There's a lot of friction going on. And we just want to tell you that our family isn't about being perfect. I know we look perfect on the outside. We look great. We look like we're all united. But I think if there's anything that brings us together is the fact that we're very real, and that it isn't always pretty, like coughing real. And it isn't always perfect, and it isn't always clean. And like Ashley perfectly said, and she's had this outside perspective where she's seen the good, the bad, and the very ugly of our family. And the transparency is that we're just real, and family does not have to look perfect, but as long as you make it work and you can get through it, at the end, the love is what keeps us together. So why doesn't somebody just define like what a family meeting has meant for you guys? What anybody, including Ashley? Just what does a family meeting represent? What has it meant for you guys?
I think it's just a time, because especially since we got older, everyone's doing such different things all the time, with between work, because now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working people in this house of 17, or whatever. So before it was, easier, but now since we're all doing our different things, we're got a bunch of college people, so we're all reaching our different careers and stuff like that. It's just a time where we can all, in the midst of the hectic life, we all just get together, ground ourselves, and be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on for me. These are my goals. And then to connect and how we can each help each other reach our goals, see what's happened during the week, if it's a good week, if it's, been a tougher week sometimes. So it's just a time to get together and touch base.
Yeah. So how, like from 1 through 10, honestly, like how important would you say those family meetings have been for us?
Pretty hot.
I would give it a 10.
Yeah, you give it a 10.
We
I
need
mean-
them
Because that's
sometimes.
see the outside
We need
perspective.
them.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
I mean, it happens sometimes. Just like my mom said that we're not perfect. So sometimes, of course, we miss a week. Either way, we always get pizza, no matter what.
Yeah. And
But
that's
so-
what's important.
What's
guys.
important is that every week we have a family meeting and then we get pizza.
Yes.
That's our tradition.
It's a non-negotiable.
For you, it's something else. That's cool. But we have missed family meetings, and then for me personally, when I miss those, I find it kind of like damn, it's been like a while since I've been with my family, and I start to miss them. Even though I live in the same house, I see them every day. I talk to them. I say hello. We have conversations. It's not like a family meeting. It's like the family meeting. We're all together, present with each other, like realizing what's going on and laughing or crying or being upset or whatever it is, all about the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it puts you, no matter good or bad or positive, negative, no matter what, it's like you're all on the same track. And when there's a bunch of people on the same track, it's like easier to get to wherever it is that you're trying to get.
Yeah, and also to add too that he just said that, like sometimes I didn't see him until I saw him yesterday, and before that it was last Sunday. So it's like I didn't see him all week, and it's just because when I get home from work, he's leaving to work, and then when he gets back from work, I'm already asleep, so I can work the next day and then repeat. So I hadn't seen him all week, so it's like without the family meeting, we wouldn't be able to see each other and stuff like that because we each have such conflicting opposite schedules and stuff like that. So.
And some people might think that a family meeting is just, like we're talking about the fact that we are now holding a family meeting with older children. But do you guys remember how the family meeting didn't necessarily look like the way it looks now? And we would have a daily time where we spend time together. Before it was like consistently dinner, but then we started doing it once a week on Sundays. Watch a movie, so it's evolved, but it's always been that message to us where, like, Gus and I made it the priority at first, and because we made it the priority, it was us saying, you guys are important to us. We're going to set this time aside in our busy schedule to make sure that we spend some time with you. And I hope that it sent that message to you guys, even though it hasn't always been plain. But Ashley, you were, I think when you guys were still friends, now they're boyfriend, girlfriend, but when they were still friends, she was invited to a family meeting. And it was the first time, Nick, I don't even know how you asked her. Was this like?
Because it wasn't like, hey, come to our family meeting. It was, hey, we're all going to watch a movie tonight. Come over. So when I came over, I guess, like, he's like, oh, just come over whenever you want. So I came over and I guess everybody was like sitting down and I was like, okay, what the heck? So like growing up, like my family was very private. Like, we don't want anybody outside to know our business, like whatever. So I'm coming here and I'm seeing them like all sit down and talk about private things. And I'm like, are you sure you want me here? Like, I don't feel like, I guess I felt a little bit uncomfortable at first, but like that was just walking into it. And then as soon as I sat down and like, they were like, no, come in, like talk, like you're a part of this family too. And I hadn't even been a part of this family that long. So like, as soon as I had like got here, I was welcome as if I was known for years already. So like coming into it, like it was so easy for me to get comfortable and so easy for me to like blend with them that it felt like I was part of my own family meeting. And then you talk about like what you want to talk about and you bring your input. They want you to talk about things. And I always felt like family since day one. So
we didn't pay her to say that. But thank you, Ash. And the way, let's see, I love you guys. Oh, Henry's saying hi. So what is everybody saying on the Facebook?
It's hard to see.
I know it's saying the image is sideways. So I don't know if that's
They're
good
saying
or
the
bad.
image is sideways? Oh, no, then flip it.
You won't be able to see
we
everybody.
can't see everybody.
Okay,
So
well, that's okay.
It's just
Flip it like this. Yeah, there you go.
like
Awesome.
this.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's-
And
So
you can
let's
see a few.
Thank you for, at least, we can see a few of
That's
us.
fine.
There you go, that's
I'll
good.
try to lean in.
I like that statement, we are not perfect. Okay, cool, that's awesome. Yeah, we definitely are not perfect. Okay, so you guys are seeing us straight now. We want you guys to send us your questions because as we're sharing, we're just sharing like from our heart, whatever. So send us your questions about what we're sharing, okay? So what is a family meeting? Basically, a family meeting is a time that your family decides to get together. It's a non-negotiable day of the week. It's a time that's most likely for everybody to be involved. It's a time where your family comes together to connect emotionally, more importantly. And I think in our family meetings, like Alexis was saying, we always end up crying or there's some sort of, connection.
Not always.
But,
You're making it seem like.
but he's saying like, if you're laughing,
They're
you end
regular
up crying.
sometimes.
Yeah, but when we have these family meetings, they've looked, like we said, they've looked different in every meeting that we've had. And Erin wants to know, what is the structure? Does it change? Do you come up with topics? Yes, to all of those. There is kind of a structure, and the way we do it is we they all get off. They get home from work like around 4, even on a Sunday. So like 3, 4 o'clock, everybody starts coming together because that's about the unofficial start of our family time. Then about, what is it, like 5 o'clock-ish, we get our pizza because that, according to Nick, that was a non-negotiable when we created the mission statement.
Yeah, it's on
the paper.
Yeah.
So it was a non-negotiable. It's like, if we don't have pizza on a Sunday, then that's not a real family meeting.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. We quit. So we needed to get the pizza, or if I was making something other than pizza because I got tired of pizza, then we just hang out in the kitchen, and that's our bonding time. It's kind of like we start building rapport, like how's everybody been doing? We put some music, we have fun, they're taking showers, whatever. And then we eat our pizza and we just have fun. Again, some small talk, we laugh, we joke about all kinds of things. And then we move to the family room to where we go around to each person just saying, and it could be different topics. It could be either Gus sharing something that he learned that week, or that day we could have a theme of words of affirmation. We could have a day where we confront someone or hold them accountable to something that they haven't been working on. Or we might say, what are our goals for the year or the 6 months or for the month? We might say, what else kind of things?
So Aaron wants to know if we talk current events or if we talk logistics. We don't usually talk current events.
Nick, what do you mean in terms of current events?
Yeah, like what's going on and
Like the news.
Oh,
and stuff.
like the news and politics
Not
and
really.
religion.
Or she might mean current events like in the family.
What happened this past week?
We
That's
talk about that, but most of
we don't
ourselves.
talk
Yeah,
about current events.
Nothing
like going on
outside of
before.
what's
Like,
going on.
we wouldn't have brought up the Las Vegas, shooting
Yeah.
or anything like that. We
Not
just
like-
talk about ourselves in the past week.
Personal,
And, what
yeah.
happened. And over here on Facebook, they're wondering, how do you keep them from arguing? That's what someone asked. And I guess the answer to that,
No,
there's
you have
no-
to just
just
let
kidding.
it
there's no
out
keeping from
sometimes.
arguing. We
You just gotta let
argue.
it
Like
out.
that's what Alexis said earlier. Like it's gotten where we all end up crying because we all argue and yell at each other sometimes. But
It's
Ashley said,
better
it
to
ends
do it.
beautifully.
Yeah, because it's better to do it when we're all together than to just like I found it like if I have an argument with somebody that's outside of the family meeting, there's no
Yeah.
resolution really. To whereas if we do it during the family meeting, we have outside perspective to say, okay, well I can see where his point is. Like the reason he's upset is because of this. Because sometimes when we're angry, we have a hard time, telling the other person, okay, this is why. It's just more like I'm just angry and I can't tell you why. So if somebody else can understand, they can tell the other person like, okay, I can see why. And then we understand each other a lot better in that way.
Yeah. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Also, a few times when we've noticed that it's been like a little bit too much of the like topic, because sometimes you just butt heads and then you're both a little hard headed and you just don't want to like see the other side. So what we have done is we've played videos that is actually what was it, the video that we played that one time?
On communication?
It was on communication. It was how to what was the name of it? I don't remember. It was like there was a specific,
Dynamic. Is it dynamic communication or? I
no, it was
forgot the
how
name.
to confront.
Like it was like how to
something.
confront in love.
How to confront confrontation. I think something like that.
There's a
Anyways,
series of videos,
We've
right?
seen like videos purposely for the purpose of not arguing, because if you can learn how to communicate your feelings better, and the more you do that, the better you become. So the more that you can communicate and just do it without like engage in your emotions of anger and all that stuff, then the easier it'll become to express stuff without arguing. Because arguing is like, the way I look at it is that when we argue, it's not so much arguing as much as it is like debating. I feel like it's kind of like we debate. We go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and somebody puts an input, other person, and we just analyze all the data that's coming in, and then all of a sudden all right, I'm incorrect, you're right, that's the way it is, and then we make up, Most of the time, it never lasts past a family meeting.
Yeah.
That's true.
Almost
I don't think
always.
it ever really has.
Yeah.
So it really helps us, but we also look like if she was asking about logistics might be like a family trip or some sort of calendar thing that is on. So we do discuss those kind of things too. Usually we try to discuss those kind of things while we're having the dinner and the pizza, and then when we get to the family room, we discuss more of the emotional things, relational things. The younger ones, now that they are, when they were young, when all the boys were younger, it would look like watching a movie, and that was their special time. And now that we have the teenagers and the adults, we do find that we have to get more into the emotional development because it becomes challenging. You know, there's so much relational conflict that happens with family that's this large with so many leaders and personalities. So we do have to have it. Yeah.
Some people are asking how they include the little ones and stuff. And there's family meetings that we have with just the older ones, and there's family meetings that we have, okay, call the little ones out, and that's more like catching
Those
up.
are more the educational ones.
Yeah,
where we
educational,
learn
how to communicate, stuff like that.
characters. If they,
Yeah.
And something. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna let the little ones go. Do you guys want to say anything? No. Okay. Wave bye. Wave bye, you guys. All right. Say bye to Lucas and Isabella. All right. I'm gonna let them go so that way we don't have to be so tight and it can be over. Yeah. All right.
Something I wanted to say really quickly is that I left it back.
You're fine. Oh, he left the back there.
it's like
So one thing that I did want to say is that this goes back to the arguing question, that you may not want to just right off the bat go into like confronting someone the first family meeting. Do not do that. That'll end badly. You want to first build the relationship of love and community with your family because, like we've said, we've done these family meetings for as long as I can remember, right? Yeah. For a long time, we've done these meetings. So by the time we get here now you're hearing about us confronting each other and building each other up in these ways that we butt heads and then are able to go and continue with love through the week and love each other. But it hasn't always been like that. You know, it takes time. So first, you have to make sure, do more fun things together. Create that bond, that unity, that community between the family first. Yeah. And once that's strong and you can feel the connection, then you can go and begin to build each other up and confront each other and support each other to where you see that they need to be.
Yeah. Alexis, Arian wants to know how old you are. He's 18.
I'm 18.
He's 20. Ashley's 21. Mia is 13.
Yeah.
Almost
14.
Because the family meetings are just like friendship. Like if you want to make a friend, you don't just go up to someone and insult them. I don't like your hair. I think you should do it like that instead. You know, you build the rapport with them. You start going out, hang out. And then you can tell them, hey, maybe you should wear a darker color than I instead. You know, you don't just go to someone and insult them if you want to make a friend.
Right.
And someone was saying the teens don't feel ganged up on and stuff. I guess to answer that, and I guess you could hit two birds with one stone. This talks a little bit about the arguing too. For one, the family meetings aren't only about the teens and the problems and everything like that. It's just about touching base and stuff. But just to be honest, to make it for the answering the question of the teens don't feel ganged up on. Some of the people, I'm one of them, a few years back, you know, started growing up. We got into the whole partying and drinking and stuff like that. So my parents found out and they realized it was a problem, you know, and they started confronting, you know, one-on-one and stuff like that. But we kept on disobeying and doing it anyways. So we brought it up in a family meeting. And it was me and another one of the three older boys. So maybe we felt like everyone was against us at the time. But if you just realize that the family meetings and they're confronting you with that stuff because they just want the best for you and that they love you and everything like that, then they might feel like you're ganging up on them, but it won't be like that afterwards. Because if you just come to them in love and, hey, we're doing the best for you, this is for you, you know, stuff like that, then it'll help out in the end.
And how understanding that, like, honestly, that they are. Like, if I feel like if, like, let me tell you something. At the time when he came back to me and was like, oh, like, you know, we're not, like, we don't drink anymore. Like, we're not doing that anymore. So, like, me and my group of friends, we were just friends at the time. We're like, oh, this guy's crazy, you know? Like, he listens to his parents. But when he would actually, like now that I think about it, how understanding and, like, the connection that you have to have with your parents has to be so strong for you to actually be like, we actually talked and I listened and I know that what they're telling me is out of love, rather than I feel like a normal teenager would be like, oh, they're just telling me that because they want my life to be boring, whatever a teenager would say. And I just found that, like, that's so powerful, like, to somebody who doesn't have that kind of connection with their parents, you know what I mean? So I just think that that's important.
It's true. I remember that. It was such a powerful for us too as parents, because we were talking to Nick one-on-one, and then, like he was saying, eventually to where we used the entire family dynamic as the accountability. That family meeting was the accountability to say, hey, we've talked to you about this one-on-one, but it apparently wasn't enough. We want to hold you accountable. And we came at it from an angle of totally unconditional love. We want to support you based on where you're going. And we know that this is not you. This is what we're asking of you. So that, I think, after a few weeks, it was amazing that he also had the maturity to make that decision and to go share it with his friends so that it wouldn't be a problem anymore. And then it wasn't a problem anymore.
And then, like, once he makes a decision, like, there's no budging. Like, he'll make that decision.
Yeah.
And that's both of you guys. Like, once they made that decision, that's it. Like, you can't, there's no peer pressure. There's no nothing like, no, I made a commitment and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Which leads us, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
Well, somebody asked if the little ones were there for that specific topic. I don't think they were.
Yeah, they
Most
probably
likely.
were.
Mia might have been, maybe, but definitely the little ones were not
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's more an older
Yeah.
conversation.
Usually when it's things that have to do with those sensitive topics that are more teenage oriented, whether it's, sexuality or whether it's, alcohol, what are the
Bad influences.
bad influences,
Whatever.
yeah,
it is.
those more sensitive topics, we definitely don't include the little ones. We send them to the room and then we bring them back. Because after the living room time, sharing emotional stuff, then we'll watch a movie. And sometimes the meetings end a little late, so we don't, but that's usually the dynamic, and that's where we'll bring the little ones back. Someone had mentioned something about board games. We're not like a board game kind of family. What?
We're not. All
We're
the board
not.
games have missing pieces.
Yeah. So we
But if that's your type of family, like we're a
Yeah.
movie family, so that's why we do the movies. If
Movie
you're a
and pizza.
board game family,
Yeah.
yeah, movie and pizza, that's the type we are. But if you're a board game family and you guys like that, then that'll work, you know?
and we know
Yeah, so
families
then-
that really relate.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
It's like Mara asked, how do you keep the younger ones engaged? I think we already answered, but I'm gonna just reiterate. It's like when they were smaller, we just used to hang out and eat pizza and watch a movie, and we talk, whatever, little
No, we
small.
just do like quick 10-minute questions.
Yeah, we would, maybe talk about a character trait or something like that, and and then as they grew older, now their needs changed, so we changed the family meeting to meet their needs, which was more engaging them and more into the emotionals.
Yeah.
And of course, engaging the little ones, it doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't have to start as this thing that you see now with us. It doesn't have to start as we're talking about things, we're all growing and talking about character and this and that, which is great. If you can do that, awesome. Do it as fast as you can. But if the little ones, you find that they're not being engaged, do something that the little ones would be engaged with. Maybe go out to a park, play with them, play catch.
Rollerblading.
Do rollerblading, do activities
Go
that
out to
they'll
the
want
movies,
to do.
yeah,
That's a good point.
definitely.
That way, they'll be engaged. And as many people will think, no, that's not family time. That's definitely family time.
Yeah.
Because if you
And
ask,
if you call it family time, it's
Yeah.
different than if you just go on a Friday
going
night.
out,
Yeah.
yes, because if you call it family time, then
That's true.
then they
It'll
recognize
be whatever
it like that. They
it'll be
recognize
whatever
it
you
like
say
that.
it.
They
Yeah.
associate.
Yeah.
So you guys brought something that's really important, okay? And we've talked about the family meetings, which is the foundation of something that we started having. We didn't read it anywhere. It was just, I don't know, it just came up to me and we just started doing that because I felt it was super important. And I'm glad that everybody got on board with it. It took a while. At the beginning, you guys were like, oh, we don't want to, whatever. But,
Well, not really, because it was movies.
well, it was
Yeah,
movies.
that's how you started.
But then when so it was
whatever.
there was not a lot of friction, but when we added the other things, there was sometimes some hesitation, but eventually they started asking for it. So they wanted to and then they would start calling the family meetings, like text group,
Oh, yeah.
family
Yeah.
meeting this week, we need to fix this problem kind of thing. So that was good. But Alexis was saying something really important, which is the relationship has to be, Nick, I was saying something like the relationship has to be built before. And Alexis made a note. He brought in the perspective of we have to, talk about character. So character has been really, really key in our family because I feel like it's the thing that has allowed us to manage ourselves from the inside out. And by studying the character traits, it's really made a difference in our family. So like their strong work ethics, their decision-making skills, their teamwork, their ability to be leaders, no matter what, like the personality that they have, no matter what. Like for Mia, Lucas, Isabella, Nick, Alexis, and Gus Jr., all of them are leaders, even though they're completely different personalities. And I feel like it's been strongly because of the character that we've studied. So do you guys remember what the character, Mia, you can pitch in and just share in, like what the character studies would look like and how we've even used them in the family meetings to just share as accountability.
When we use the books, like a long time
Either the
ago,
books or
recently?
just the character traits as topics. Because we first started by studying character traits until we got used to what the definitions of things were. Like, what is stewardship? What is honesty? What is truthfulness? What is kindness? What is obedience? And really, these are topics that you're constantly learning and asking questions on. So we just learned them, and there's over 50, and we studied them for years. I mean, I continue to teach those to the little ones. But now these boys, like, character is a part of them. Like, if I say, are you taking initiative? They know exactly what I mean. So character was such an important topic in our family. Erin, we'll tell you what the papers on the wall are in just a little bit. But this character trait, now we've even used the character in the family meetings to say, like, what character trait are you working on this month? So, like, Nick might say, one time we were out of whack with orderliness, right? Like, I was working a lot here at the house, but I was working a lot. And I don't know, like, everywhere you go, it was a little bit messy, out of hand. And we brought it up in a family meeting, and we said, okay, we're going to focus on orderliness. And everybody, because we were just focused on that, then from that came everybody just paying a little more attention and picking up after themselves, to where it got a lot better in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A lot better in a couple of weeks. And then it's a continuous thing. Obviously, there's a lot of us in the family. But can you guys allude to the character and how important that's been for you?
Well, I can say that as far as saying it and declaring it in family meetings, like, for example, you said that what we have done before many times is what character trait are we working on this week? And basically one that you feel maybe you're lacking in, or you've been slacking on just a tiny bit, is the one you say, this week I'm gonna be working on blank. So for me, one that stuck out was compassion. That I said I was going to be working on compassion because we have 2 little pet dogs, and maybe some people will get angry at me, but I personally do not like dogs. I prefer them. Like, if it were up to me, I wouldn't have any pets. All right, don't get angry at me. That's just the way that I am. So with me, whenever it came to the dogs, people would be like, oh yeah, I love them. My whole family would love the dogs, and then I would be like, just leave me alone. You know, I kind of like shoo them away, and whenever I was eating, I go, like that. So everybody was like, you need to work on that. I said, all right, this week I'm going to work on compassion, specifically for animals, you know? So every time I would be eating and kind of be like, hey, go, you know? Everybody would be like, what are you working on this week? And I'd be like, compassion, I'm working on it. All right. Hey, could somebody please move the dogs? You know, at least I don't have to enjoy, I don't have to, you know, I don't have to like dogs, you know, or like pets. I just have to have compassion on them and realize that they're living creatures, and that I need to just show love to them no matter what.
Well, you like dogs, you just don't like our dogs.
No, it's kind of like, this is the process. I loved dogs before, and then I got a dog, one of my own, and I kind of had to take care of her, and then she was like mean to me, and she bit me all the time and stuff like that, and it just came to the point that I was like, oh my gosh,
the pros just aren't worth the cons.
You know, and then now it's just come to the point that I do not like any dogs at all. But that's that. Maybe one day I'll find a great dog and I'll change my mind, but we'll see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyways, that's my.
Okay, so Mara says, I thought Mia was going to tell us about how character training was done. Somebody wants to hear from you, Mia.
Yeah, Mia.
Just be loud. Just make sure you speak loud. And Swami is saying, you are right. The parents have established that open communication. You're honest. It's a process. I am with you with the animals, Katie says.
I don't like the animals either.
Who said that?
Lots of Katie Tanata. So Mia, share about how the character training was done. Like how we do it now. So what it looks like for the little ones.
Oh, well, I usually just set up like a routine for them, and like they kind of have to get it down at first. I don't know.
Well, we're talking about the character trait.
Like, what are your takeaways? You think it's important?
Like, what's something that you work on? Like,
I'm working on initiative.
She's working on initiative, and this week she's learning to have complete follow through. So with Mia, for instance, it's about at the age level that she's at. It's really important to have specific life skills, and Mia is really carrying the home at this point in a big way because the boys used to do a lot of house chores, but now they're working and laundry. So Mia is now taking care of a lot of the laundry and the cooking for the family and so forth. So she's got a lot of time, but she's learning to manage that time so that she's able to get the things done that she has to help us with in the house without it being a burden, right? And without being told, because that's really important. I don't want to be nagging on her, like, do this. I just, no, she can manage her own time. And that's something that as children transition from 12 to 13, we want children to manage their own time without us micromanaging everything. And you guys can agree that we've always, like, as soon as you guys have turned 12, 13, we say, okay, manage your time.
Nice.
It's a transition. And so with Mia, the way the character training looks is like when we homeschool and we have we have the quiet time, then we read a book or we talk about one character trait that we're focusing on. But we do it daily and we've picked different things. So she said right now she's working on initiative. With the little ones, we might be working on obedience. With one of them, I'm working on making sure that they remember and take personal responsibility on grooming. So they're just, either we can choose one character trait for all of them or one specifically for each one of them that they feel they need to work on. And something that is really, really important that we teach this in the program that we have, I don't know if you guys all know, but we have a program called Powerful Parenting Academy. Because I think out of all of the things that we've done, that I've done in my life, I think like parenting is the one thing that just drives my heart. And I have loved raising my children. I live for these children. They're my life. So I feel like I wanted to give them a lot of what I didn't have, whether it was the emotional support, the connection, the bonding, the memories, the tools, the emotional tools, the character tools that I didn't have. I used to be a big procrastinator. So by working on those, like I've had to confront my biggest monsters inside so that I could raise the best version of my boys and my children that I could, right? In the older ones and in the little ones. So from all of those learnings came something that we have called Powerful Parenting Academy. And in Powerful Parenting Academy, the basis of everything I teach is something that I developed called reflection maximization. Reflection what? It's called reflection maximization. And what it basically means is that in order to maximize your children are your reflection. And in order to maximize who they are, you have to maximize who you are. So in order for me to raise each one of them to become the best leaders that they could be, to have the best emotional health that they could be, to have the best character that they could be, I have to first look at myself. And Gus takes that same approach. We both live like that now, where before I ask them, like, are you taking initiative? I ask myself first, like, am I taking initiative? Because if I'm not working on that, then I don't feel like I have the right. As a parent, I have the right, I have the authority. But just in integrity, do I have the right to ask him to live a certain way if I'm not doing it myself? So the entire basis of the program that we teach and how we've lived our lives is to make sure that we're living up to our fullest potential so that we can inspire our children to live to their fullest potential. With that said, you guys can see that, like, I'm not too worried about the younger ones because part of what is so important is making sure that as a family, you're creating a culture. So we have a family culture that we've created. You guys know that society is really tough right now with family. Society is really, it's really affected by everything we see in society with social media or peer pressure or schools or, just celebrities and the things that they say. It's just all being affected. The family's really being affected. Extended family isn't close by anymore. People are living farther and farther from each other. It's like, the whole concept of it takes a village to raise a child. I wouldn't say to raise a child, but it does take a village to raise a young adult. Because like my parents, my brothers, my dad, like the extended family has come in to help us support them in raising them to where they need to be. But the whole concept, we've been intentional in that. And in order to have that, we've had to create our own family culture. So our family culture, when it's created by them, we know that the younger ones just follow suit of that because it makes it a lot easier. So if you have younger children and those are the only ones you have, like you're creating the basis of your family culture now so that as they get older, then the other ones follow suit, right? It's the same. Like if you move to Miami, where we are, then you're going to find that you're going to adapt to the way this culture is. And you're going to be speaking Spanglish and dancing some salsa and doing Zumba class, right? But if we move to Seattle, like some of you, there's some other things that culture is going to have. And your family has a culture. You may like the culture, you may not like the culture that you have right now. But you have one. And if you don't like the culture that you have right now, then you have to define what kind of culture you want to have. And the way we do that is by these papers that we have in the back. And what we did is we go through a 3-step process. What we actually sat down to do this in the program, Powerful Parenting Academy, I have a whole module that's called the Awesome Family Blueprint. It's module 1. And in module 1, I talk about, it's all videos that are pre-recorded, very short, but it's step by step. We walk you through doing what you guys see behind us. And so we sat down as a family because we wanted to make sure that we were our own best clients and that we would do, like, let's see if this works, right? So we followed the videos, and in this first one, it was first like identifying what are the things that are important to you. So we wrote all kinds of things here like celebration, creativity, entrepreneurship. I talked about the non-negotiables. What are the values that we admire? How do we solve differences? Like there's all kinds of questions that we asked about. There's all kinds of questions that we asked about how to have a family meeting. Not have a family meeting, sorry. No, our final question was the kind of culture that we wanted to have. So we asked all the questions from the videos, and then we came up with all the answers, and everybody pitched in, including the little ones. Then the next step to that was narrowing down, in the middle red one, narrowing down from this, how could we summarize it? So for instance, if like some of it was courage, integrity, politeness, encouragement, so those were character traits. So we could say, okay, this are the bigger categories. So we basically chunked up and summarized the bigger picture categories, which is what we took over here. So once we had over here, yeah, there. So once we had the first one, we had everything from in the red one on a second meeting where we narrowed it down to the things that were big picture important to us. And then on a third family meeting, or I don't remember if it was the same time, but we did the last one on green, which basically was our family mission statement. And what's the difference between a mission statement and a vision? Vision. I have an accent. Vision. I still have a Hispanic accent. Someone wanted to know what personalities.
Vision.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. So we're just reading some notes. We have Ligia and Edie. They're joining us on the chat rooms, and they're just making sure that you guys are feeling loved and welcome, and that they send the questions to us. So, what was his name?
Mission statement.
Mission statement. The difference between vision. I pronounced it.
Mission.
Is the vision is like where would you want to see your family? And then you narrow down to a mission statement. That's the core that if anybody was to want to know what your family's like, they would read that mission statement because your vision.
Good. You're saying it perfect.
Okay. Your vision for life is going to be narrowed down in that mission statement. And just like companies have a mission statement, we wanted to have a mission statement for our family. So the family, who wants to read the Solis Family mission? You guys can take turns reading now.
All right. So the Solis Family mission statement: we participate in adrenaline-filled, passionate, courageous adventures.
Yep, that was important to us. Make sure we have strong adventures. Speak loud so they can hear us.
Yes.
Do you want to take turns?
Yeah.
There you go.
We support, encourage, and love one another unconditionally.
We don't always do that, but that's our
try.
mission. That's what we strive to, right?
We take care of our stuff. We are good stewards. We communicate to build stronger connections.
We make everything a celebration and have fun.
We make everything a celebration and have fun. Next one.
We maintain creative. I can't read that.
We maintain
Goals.
creative goals.
Vision,
Don't
smart work.
Let me read that one because that one's.
first, and also we do have a legitimate copy of this. That is not
We do.
like hand. I don't know how to read this handwriting.
Okay, this was
I
hands
was
on.
homeschooled. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
We maintain creative goals and visions and smart work ethics to create
can't
wealth.
recursive.
Wait, let me say
Do
that
it,
again.
say it again,
Sorry,
say it
go.
again.
We maintain creative goals and visions and smart work ethics to create wealth.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
All right, we grow physically and emotionally healthy and strong.
All right.
We show great manners, respect, integrity, honor, and loyalty in order to show our character and encourage others to do the same.
Yes.
We are grateful for our family, friends, and the life that we live.
Gus, you want to read that?
We take personal responsibility to constantly,
Consistent.
consistently grow and
Improve.
improve in every area of our life.
So I hope that you guys got to
And on
hear
the back it says we eat pizza every Sunday.
every Sunday.
Just kidding. It doesn't
That's
say.
our most successful
That's
mission statement.
But we all put that together. And the reason why there were some phrases that were sentences we couldn't read is because we were adding and the adjectives were important to us. This is very advanced, but it's been an evolution. It all started like about 16 years ago was probably the first time that I wrote down the goals of the family, the first times that I wrote down and I didn't even ask Gus what to do. I just did it by myself and kept a notebook and started writing all the things that I wanted in our family. But as it evolved, then I kept writing like a mission statement. And I feel like that mission statement is exactly what I started to create 15 years ago when I started this process of creating a vision for our family. But it's funny enough that because I had that, vision to follow the family like that, Gus and I created that atmosphere, and then the family adapted it. And then it was interesting when I said, okay, I'm not even going to have any input in this family mission, they created exactly what we set out to create. It's just that they did a much better job in the wording, like when they added keywords that were so important. Now it was theirs. Like now they owned the fact that this is how we're choosing to live. Are we always 100% on it? No, we definitely fell short on a bunch of those, but I think those things are written in the core of our heart, and it's our guiding path that really allows us to make sure that we're living like that constantly, right? So, yeah.
I feel like that's the main.
Okay.
I'll ask her about that now. But I feel like the main reason the mission statement is important is just because it's kind of like if you don't know where you're going, then like anywhere will get you there, So if you have no idea where your family, the direction that you want your family to be, then any path will get you there. But the mission statement creates that guided path so that you say, in the future, I see this is what my family is going to be. And in order to get there, these are the steps. These are the things we have to live by every single day. So this mission statement, in order to create the family culture the perfect family culture that we see, we have to live by these things, by the things that we stated here. We have to participate in adrenaline activities and have adventures.
That's who we
because that's just something that's in our culture. That's in our family that we love to participate.
Yeah.
For example, my 18th birthday, I got every single one of us plus a couple people more to jump out of a plane for the first time, skydiving.
Awesome.
Everybody hated me first. They were like, why are we doing this? Afterwards, everybody's giving me hugs. Thank you. Best thing
Everyone
ever.
wants to go
Nick
there.
organized it all.
Everyone wants to go.
Yeah.
Nick organized everything. But see, it's like when you're clear, that we as a family participate in these activities. When you come at everybody with something like, we're going skydiving for my 18th birthday,
Like
it's
whether
not
you
optional.
want
It's
to
not
or
it's
not.
happening.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Then everybody's like, damn, it's in my mission
if
statement.
one of
so
us
we
are
have
in,
to.
like we're all
You know?
in.
Yeah.
So that mission statement just creates that guideline that gets you from where you are to where you want to be by just being that person now and kind of being like, what would that person do in this situation? That's why that's
So we're asking, how do you have any suggestions for blended family and how to initiate these meetings?
It's very interesting.
I think
what does that mean?
Blended
Like-
families like a husband and
stepmother.
stepmother or
I
husband.
think like Alexis answered it, at the beginning. It was like one of the most important things is to establish, a relationship with them. You start having the family meetings, and maybe you just talk about, what's going on in your week that week, how you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues or, stuff like that.
Any
Then you have to start
requests.
getting the relationship. And then after you establish a relationship with all of them, then you start, getting into deeper emotional things.
And you'll find that we've had lots of clients in the program that are blended families. And those are the families that need it the most, because they're coming from, divorced parents, or they have this step parent, and they're feeling, where do I belong? Who am I like? Who am I? Right? Like, my family's not what I thought. My family's not my family. So they have these inner questions that they may not be expressing. So it's so important for you to have these family meetings so that there's certainty that's created for the children, so that they'll have a sense of belonging. And depending on how the relationship is with the additional parent that may or may not be living, probably is not living in the home, you can begin to share this mission statement so that you guys can be on the same page. Like, we've had divorced parents take this course and begin to be on the same page about how to raise their children and co-parent successfully, because we are so step by step in the way that we teach how to do all the stuff. So I hope that answers your questions as far as how to do that.
There's been a lot of questions still about, the age differences. When you have little kids and when you have older children. Like we said, a lot of times what we would do is we send the little ones to go play in the room if we're gonna have a topic that was, emotionally like out of their age group. And then later on we'd watch a movie for them.
Yeah.
Like we picked specifically a movie that they would enjoy watching, or a movie that they wanted to watch.
And I guess to make it simple, that's the perfect example of building the rapport that we've been talking about. For them, it's just spending time. For them, it's family time because they're just watching the movie. They're not part of the emotional conversations yet. Mm-hmm. But when they get older, this whole time as a parent, they've been building that rapport. So when they get older, they'll be exactly like the older ones with the family meetings. They would have had that rapport, and for them, it's regular, Yeah. So that's how it starts. That's basically the process right there.
Yeah. We said we were going to we've covered a lot, and so we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon, because if you guys like it, send us a lot of hearts. Let us know that you're liking this. You guys, we're coming in super raw, super clear, super transparent with you. And we're just touching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to content as far as what we could share, because this is stuff. Yay, we love all those hearts. And I should have said, can you guys share it? Whatever, but what? You're so silly. This is me just being
I
silly.
was winking.
Oh, okay.
Call
But
that
this
winking.
Sorry. Go.
this is such amazing information. And you guys, I don't know if you all agree, but can you imagine if all families were living like this? I mean, we're not special. This is, well, we are special, but we're not like special. Like, you're special too. So imagine if all of these families were living like that. If all of you, like, imagine your family getting together, and sure, you may not know exactly what to do, but we could definitely support you and we could guide you through it. So Mara's putting all these hearts, and she's all these, she's like, you all, Tara and Shannon and Jason said, you all rock. Everyone wins. She's, so Amy says, Alex Trinchette is with us. My goodness, we know Alex for years. That's awesome. So glad you're here. So imagine like families getting together and having this kind of dynamic. To me, if your family isn't thriving, if you're just stable, if you're like, oh, we're a happy family. No, you guys have to be having the arguments. You have to be discussing the issues that are happening in your family. Like, you got to take your family to the next level, where if you've heard Nick and Alexis talk, they're talking about things that most children their age, or young adults their age, wouldn't be talking about. They're talking about emotions and connections, being connected emotionally, building rapport. Like, these are not things that normally people their age know. And it's because we've been very proactive about making sure that we instill those words and concepts. That is the emotional intelligence. In our program, we talk about 4 basic pillars. First is the pillar of vision. That I'm going to be really like stuck with that word, vision. I'm going to be dreaming about it. Vision. But, we create a vision for the entire family. Then we work on the character, and then we make sure that we're all growing. That's where the life skills come in, the leadership skills. And then last but not least, we have the emotional health. So if you have those 4 things, we know that your family is going to have all of the right tools that it needs to be successful. Because it isn't so much about like do this or do that. We can give you like how we do it, but we're going to take the principles of how we do things and then we're going to share them with you so that you can have your own vision. You can have your own character training classes. We give you guidelines, of course, how to have your family meeting, how to be able to make sure that your family's constantly growing. And then last but not least, building that emotional health, no matter how old your children are, because the older they are, the more important that connection is. So I wanted to touch on a few things before, which was topics that we were going to discuss, is how to build identity, right? So something that we've done that's been really, really important for us as part of our family culture has been to build up our children's identity. This wasn't something that we did when they were younger. Not that we didn't do it, but it became really proactive about more 8 years ago, where we understood, like I understood my identity and Gus understood his identity. And then we were very purposeful with making sure that we put in their heart the confidence to know who they are. Because when children know who they are, then they don't need to, the peer pressure doesn't affect them. I think the reason why Nick was able to make that decision of not continuing to dabble with like alcohol, whatever, it was because we reminded of who he is. So if you guys could speak about, the identity component and how important that's been for you to know who you are. Yeah, there's some laughing going on. I'm like, what's going on? All right, so you guys want to share how important your identity, because the thing is like super cool. We all have the superhero complex. In fact, our Powerful Parenting Academy is all like superhero related. And it's because we literally believe we are superheroes. Every family we know, they are superheroes, but they just don't know it in many ways. And superheroes, we named it Powerful Parenting Academy because to be a powerful person, it's different. Like when you say you're a powerful person, what does it mean? It means that you take on life the way it comes. It means that you get up when you fall down. It means that you guys can add to that. It means that you're not afraid of conflict. What else would you guys say that powerful means to you? Like to live as a powerful person?
It means you take risks.
You take some risks, right?
Stand up.
You stand up for what's wrong.
What's right.
For what's right. Sorry. Against what's wrong.
I guess.
Wait, what is the question?
The question is,
What's powerful?
What's powerful?
What is powerful?
Definition.
What's powerful to you?
What makes you powerful?
Ooh.
Money. Just kidding.
Just kidding, money. The entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What makes me powerful? I don't know. It's just like the confidence. I feel like, like when I think of power, I just think of confidence in myself. Just like if you believe, like for me, if I believe I could do it, I could do it. You know, like that's the mentality that I've had my whole life. I don't know. Is that an answer?
Yeah, and I think that's come because we built their identity. So we want to make sure that you guys are at your core. Can you guys like remember or pinpoint anything that we've done that specifically you said, wow, this really hit home on who I am as a person. It's giving you identity. And by the way, we never labeled their identity on, oh, you're gifted or you're so smart or you're, it was never on the things that they did. It was more on the character that we knew they could develop at their core, right? So what do you guys think we did as parents to build up that identity in you guys?
To be honest, like by far the most important thing that I think they've taught us was the character traits. Like, because there's just so many and they're so important is the character traits. For me, honestly, it was the two books, the character traits. What were they? The red and the blue one, part 1 and part 2.
Blue was first.
Yeah, the blue was first. What were they called?
Character building for families.
Character building for families, and there's part 1 and part 2. And to everyone go check out that book because for me, honestly, that's what it was. Like you reading that book to us, sitting down.
And what about the coloring books? Remember?
The coloring books.
We did that coloring books. We would just do all kinds of character traits. Those books are written by Christian authors, just so you guys know. In the program that we have now, we've developed a similar process that where we include like this one is on attentiveness. So it's like, okay, we do. So I made it very similar to that, but way more colorful and sort of more practical. But it was like, for instance, in attentiveness means focusing all my senses towards a particular person or thing. Being attentive implies I am thoughtful of others, considerate, polite, and courteous. Having attentiveness means I am present and engaged with my current circumstances. So I made it so that every character trait has a definition and it's very easy for the children to understand. And then how do you talk about it? How do you teach it? How do you live it in life? How do you, if you want to play a game? And then I'm big on declarations. Like we as a family, we're big on leadership and declarations. So in this study guide, I do include like declaring I am attentive. I am aware of my surroundings. I'm attentive to my parents, teachers, and friends. So I have a declaration. And how do we apply it? So set the intention to be attentive and point out to others when they're being attentive. So we included like all these different, I kind of tweaked my own version of the character traits because, again, we wanted to make sure that you guys, we want to make sure that when in our program that you guys have everything that you need so that you wouldn't have to go look for anything else outside. But of course, I mean, we definitely always have recommended character building for families. Shannon says, she says, I love you guys. I'm literally crying in hopes of having this kind of communication in my family. What would you say to her?
What do you mean?
Like, what would you say to her?
I think it's possible.
It is
That's what I would
possible.
say.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. It is possible for any of you guys. It takes some work. Mary Dominguez is over there. Hey, guys. It does take some work. Gus is behind here, by the way, like managing all the text and making sure that he's reading all the stuff that we're all the messages. But it is possible. It just takes dedication. It takes commitment. And we want to give you guys the invitation to join us. You know, for the next 3 months, we are going to be starting this Tuesday. We have our first group coaching call. We have our program that's called Powerful Parenting Academy. This is a group of modules. We have the first module is an introduction module that's called the Power Up Videos. Power Up Videos is all about mindset. So the mindset is the belief system, you know, what makes you average and what makes you powerful. We share the belief system behind that. Because the reason, like you guys hopefully could see that way that we relate to one another, our thinking is different. The way we process information is different. We've made it that way. We're very careful with our words on purpose. So we want to share with you what the mindset of a powerful parent is like. Then we start with module 1, which is called the Awesome Family Blueprint. And in the Awesome Family Blueprint, we share the step-by-step process of how we got from this to all the way over there. And the first thing we do in that is we identify where your family is currently at, because you won't know how to get to this if you don't identify that right now you're, like for instance, if your culture is right now conflict, you have to recognize that your family has conflict or that it's drama. Like a lot of families that we speak to, they're driven by drama. So if drama is an issue ongoing and there's never any joy or celebration, then you identify that and you say, we want to replace the drama with celebration. So you do that. So we go from that all the way to helping you build your mission statement. And then we teach you how to have the family meetings. And we do give you the structure step by step. And then we move to module 2, where we go step by step again on how do you teach character to your children, why it's important. I talk about something that's called vertical and horizontal relationship of teaching character. In other words, with a horizontal relationship in character, you're on the same page. I don't come to them and go, well, you need to do this and this is it. No, I'm on the same page. Like if I'm teaching about initiative, I better be having initiative myself. So that's what I call the horizontal relationship. And we go deep into the character trainings. How do you teach character? Why do you teach character? And how do you apply the character traits into your family meetings? Then we move to module 3, which is the pillar of growth. And that's called Totally Well-Rounded Children. And module 2 is called Powerful and Confident Children, because we believe that character is what builds that power and confidence. Then module 3, it's called Totally Well-Rounded Children. That's where a lot of that participate in fun-filled, courageous, adrenaline-filled activities comes in, because we've traveled the U.S. as a family in an RV. We were purposeful about doing that. Maybe your family can't do that, but we've inspired people to do like 1 or 2 weeks in an RV because of our story. So we believe that you should be that family that builds memories by doing fun, crazy, outrageous things that, you know, it's all these things that you do with your children, they're an investment. They're not a cost, they're not an expense. Like gift yourselves the gift of travel and the gift of experiences of different life skills. So that's what you learn in module 3. You also learn the difference between coaching, training, and mentoring, because you guys know, like there's times when I coach you and Papa coaches you, or there's times when we train them, there's times when we mentor them. And we give you the difference between those 3. Then last but not least, we finish with what I think is the basis of almost everything we've been talking about today, and it's the emotional health. It's the pillar of emotional health that's called happy and connected family. And in emotional health, we explain the emotional developmental stages of your children, you know, what they needed to learn at what age, why, what are the ways to create connection when connection has been broken, and just the ways to also get rid of any limiting beliefs or things that you've learned from your parents that just aren't serving you. Like Gus and I come from very, dysfunctional upbringings. So we identified that initially with the older boys, there were a lot of things that we were doing as parents that were not good. And I had a lot of anger. And that came a lot from my childhood, how I saw my mom raise me, and also a lot of emotion that was just accumulated in there. So I have a special, something that we go through, a special part of the videos that's called the catch and release system, where I will show you how to identify and forgive and how to release judgments, how to clear your limiting beliefs so that the parenting challenges that you might have had from your parents, you don't pass them on to your kids. And if you do pass them on, like that they'd be this small, like we want to make sure we are building a new legacy with our children. And so we want to walk with you through the next 3 months. We have 3 different opportunities. You guys can work one-on-one with us. You can work as a group, as a group coaching, and you can also work at your own pace. But I want to not bore you with the details of that. I mean, it's really amazing. I hope that we've inspired you enough to go and take action. Like you can take everything that we've told you and you can go and do it yourself and just apply it. You don't need us per se to do all of that. But if you do want to walk step by step and really master the stuff that we've talked about and get to the point where your family goes from, here to here, then we want to be able to support you. And we've created 3 packages that are really affordable. So we have the silver, the gold, and the platinum packages. And I'm going to share with you guys, hold on. I'm going to share with you guys, hold on. There we go. What do you guys think? Okay. All right. So you guys should be the ones that are on the webinar live here. You should have seen a button that pops up. It's the link. It says Get Started Now. So click on the Get Started Now button and just educate yourself on the 3 different levels of our program. We have some amazing bonuses. First bonus is an autographed copy of my book, Not Just Tacos, which I'd love to have a copy right here, but I don't have one. We have to do it and get one for us. So you get an autographed copy when you register today. That's a $25 value. Price is really it's not in there, but we'll get you a copy now. But we're gonna mail you a physical copy of the book. You're gonna love that. Alexis and Nick are in the book, and so is Gus, and all of our children are in the book. But he's made tamales from scratch from that book because the ingredients and the recipes are super easy. So it's
tamales. He made arroz imperial.
He made arroz imperial. Yeah, that's like imperial rice. It's delicious. So you guys get a copy of that book. You can use it as your family meeting. Hispanics are very family oriented, so we wanted to pass on that beautiful legacy of food and family table and so forth. You also get all what I call the easy character curriculum for busy parents, which is all of these different study guides. Thank you. There it goes. You get all of the study guides. So there's a cookbook, and you get all of the study guides for character. That's our family.
I know. I want to show them us.
Yes, that's when we wrote the book.
So
Facebook. Yay, love people. Here with the study guides, you guys also get something that's called the step-by-step steps to clean the kitchen. Like when you send your kids to do something. I created this out of desperation because I kept telling them to clean the kitchen and they would never do it the way I wanted. So I created this for them to do it exactly the way I wanted, and it worked.
It's basically a contract for kids.
It basically is.
Like for me, whenever I had this, it was like, I cleaned the kitchen. Did you really? Did you wash behind the microwave where nobody ever looks? I'm like, no. You're grounded. Just kidding. No, I was never grounded.
You're grounded.
It's like a
it just
detail.
gave you
It definitely
guidelines.
helps for sure.
Yeah, it gave you a guideline.
Now when I clean the kitchen, it's spotless.
Yeah, they learn to do it the right way. But again, you need the relationship if you're going to do that. But we teach you that. So you have that. You also get the definitions of all of the character traits. So there's over 50 character traits. You get the Nick wakes up at 5 in the morning. So we're almost done, you guys.
Like at 3.
3 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's to go to work. But we give you all of the definitions of all the character traits, and you print those out as well. And you also get a workbook. So you get a workbook that we want you to print out, one for your mom, one for mom, and one for dad. And you're also going to get a how-to marriage workshop, okay? Because marriage is really challenging. I think like the majority of the biggest thing that we do is try to get the parents on the same page when it comes to parenting. Marriage has been probably our most challenging subject in this family. Everything else, like relationships, has been tough in our family. But I feel like Gus and I have overcome a lot of things, and we're still overcoming things. So we're going to teach you in a workshop what it is that we've learned in the process from a disaster couple that made it. So we're still a disaster couple. We're working on it becoming even better, but we've learned a lot in the process from that. And so far I've said you get the nachos tacos. That's a bonus. They're called disappearing bonuses because today you get all 4 of the bonuses I'm going to mention, but tomorrow you may not. Okay, so that's our incentive because we really want to bribe you to joining us for the next 3 months. So you get the cookbook, and you get all of the study guides, and you also get the workshop, the webinar on marriage, and you're also going to get 2 tickets to a live event that we are having called Powerful Parenting Academy Live. And so that's going to be the entire Solis family with a bunch of our leader friends, and we are going to walk you through everything that you go through in the program, but we're going to do it live. And you're going to have a ton of dynamics and like exercises, and you're going to wrestle out some of this stuff from forgiveness to how to have a family meeting. So that'll be the immersion experience for you to experience this live. And I think the strongest thing that we have as a family, if nothing else fails, is we know how to party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We know how to party. So you've never partied until you've partied with the Solis family. Right, guys?
That's true.
True that. So we want to make sure that in that family meeting, you guys, and that in that family experience, we're going to party. We're going to party
there
because I feel like parents don't have enough fun. I think if they still like me, in spite of all of the negative things that I've done with them, it's because we party. And
yeah,
it's like,
look what we did for the hurricane. Like, music was a huge part of that. Like, there was something that happened, and then we got together and we played music, and then everybody was okay. Because, like, you play the music, and then you just sing and you scream and you just have fun. Yeah, you just have fun.
So we want to show you how to party. Like, if you think you're a good party person, we want to take you to the next level. What? No, what is this?
No party.
What do you mean?
We're gonna party. Okay.
Not right
I thought
now.
you were gonna party now. I was like,
No, at the family event, at the
Yeah,
Powerful
absolutely.
Parenting Academy Live. It's March 1st through
I'll
March
never fall
5th.
asleep if I party now.
No,
Yeah, right.
this is
Wake us
you're gonna
up.
get 2 tickets. So there's 4 bonuses, but you'll get all that information when you click on the link. Get started now. And for those of you watching on Facebook Live, you guys can just go to powerfulparentingacademy.com/join. Ligia, if you can put it in the chat, Powerful Parenting Academy Live, powerfulparentingacademy.com/join. And Ligia will put it in right now as a link in the chat box. That way you guys can just click on it. But we want you to go. Do yourselves a favor. Check out the information. Check out this journey with us. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You guys have anything else to tell them? Like, we want you to be with us for the next 3 months. We want you to help us pay for our next vacation because we need one. Okay.
Also,
We want to do adrenaline-filled activities.
for all of you that have already clicked the link, if you don't buy within the next 23 minutes, we're unleashing a virus onto your computer.
Oh my God,
So
Alexis.
the
Yeah.
only way to unlock it is to buy it.
So he's not invited next time.
So just-
So
You have 23 minutes. It's gonna
Yes,
it's gonna be done.
It's gonna.
So just buy it. All right? You get all this stuff on top of that, so it's fine.
So that you don't get the virus because we don't want you. We want to eliminate all viruses from your computer and,
And it
your
can
family.
be tracked back to us.
It cannot be tracked back.
Yes.
Yeah. And Gus had
Kind of like this message will self-destruct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what self-destruct. So you guys, we've been your heart. We've been super transparent, honest. I love spending time with you. I hope that you have
Yeah,
Let's see.
and the whole hour goes so fast.
Yeah, this whole time has gone by too fast. Mike
Somebody
is saying
said stop yawning. They got a 3.
he just wakes up.
control.
Thank you very much from our whole family. We have the kids watch too. Awesome. Mike says that he had the kids watching too. Shannon says last week I gave your name and website to my parenting class. We're in the midst of a nasty custody battle, pero con tiempo vamos a ver. So they can take care of it. Absolutely, we're here to help. Jamie says it's evident how these weekly family meetings and your family mission statement play a significant role to have such well-spoken young adults. The proof is in their confidence when communicating. Thank you. Sending a huge group hug. And Ginny is, she's a mom that joined us on Friday. She came aboard and she said yes, her and her husband Victor. They're from Orlando, Florida. So welcome you guys. And you guys, we're going to get started this week. We start the next class on Tuesday. So Tuesday is our first group coaching call. We partner up the videos with group coaching because we know that a lot of people have questions. You want to know how this plays out. You want to know how this can apply to your family. So just like you've been asking questions for the last hour, we usually spend about an hour and a half on each one of those calls. So make sure that you join us, okay? JD says we're looking forward to Tuesday. I know, me too. It's going to be really great. So yeah, so Ami just said stop yawning. Thank you guys. Absolutely. Any questions, please let us know. If you guys have any further questions, any last minute tips or advice to parents besides the virus, and you better,
if you want a computer in 20 minutes.
If you want a computer.
Conveniently, I sell computers. Just kidding. I don't sell computers.
No. But yeah, so let me see what else.
Get out there.
Right. Yeah, it's still good. So any questions, you guys? This is the time to ask.
Oh yeah, last minute
All right.
questions.
Blessings.
Forgot
Last minute questions. We're looking over there. Oh, we got a bunch of likes over there. We love it. Thank you. You guys that are watching live, you can still share it because people that didn't catch it live, they can catch the replay. So please, if you're watching on Facebook, share it because we want more families to be powerful. We want more families to be successful and to learn all of the things that we've shared here today. Let's see if any questions come in. Any questions in the chat or anybody else?
Not any new ones.
No new ones? Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much, Lori says. You guys know where to find us. If you guys, I want to tell you that the other thing that you guys could do is, my husband said, how much longer till the computer deconstructs? the computer
19
deconstructs.
minutes.
19 minutes.
19 minutes.
It will
Yeah.
not destruct. It's just gonna shut off and never turn on again.
Yeah,
No,
It'll
it's
be,
self-destructing.
Yeah, from the inside.
from the
From the inside.
from the inside. So, you guys, if any of you have questions, you can also schedule a one-on-one, a 10-minute coaching call with me for the week. Let me remove the offer from here, and you guys can go to, give me a moment.
What did it say on there?
You said being silly.
Being silly, yeah.
Person else.
Okay, so I've also popped up in the ones that are joining us on the webinar, not on Facebook, but on the webinar, you guys can schedule a 10-minute one-on-one call with me. So if you guys are iffy, it's like, well, Shirley, I don't know if this is for me. You know, I love your kids. They're amazing, handsome, and beautiful. Your family's awesome, but I'm not sure. You know, if you have any questions, just schedule a 10-minute one-on-one call with me during this week, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So I've just popped that up too.
So how long does it take to complete each module?
To complete, good question. So we do a very good question. So we go through the entire program in a period of 3 months. Okay. So we take about 2 weeks for each module, and some modules we take a month. So we go 2 weeks in the Power Up videos. Basically, each video is about 10 to 15 minutes, very, very short, and we are very much about taking action. So at the end, we have an action step that you're going to apply. Your husband can watch the videos or listen in his phone. So it's very easy to do, okay? So short videos, there's no more than 5 to 7 videos in each module. So you'll spend roughly about an hour and a half 1 week on the modules, and then another week and a half, the next week about an hour and a half on the calls, okay, and the group coaching calls. So imagine we're going to be 2 weeks on the introduction videos, then you're going to spend 2 weeks creating your family mission statement and doing your own family meeting, and then we're going to go into character. We're going to spend a whole month on character because we want to make sure that you get it right because that's important. Then we're going to spend 2 weeks on the pillar of growth. And then last but not least, we spend another entire month, the 4 weeks, on the emotional intelligence, because there's a lot that we dig deep into. So we spend 3 whole months, but you'll spend about an hour. You'll spend about an hour and a half watching the modules, just videos, and then you have some time to do the workbooks. But that's on your own time. We recommend that your husband and the wife, like, you both print out the workbooks separately, and then you have a dinner date. At the very least, that the wife would print it out, and then the husband would, watch all the videos, and then you guys can have a conversation, have a dinner date every week, and just discuss what you've been learning, and then come to the group coaching call, both of you, so that you can, ask the questions that are applied. So that's a great question. What else? You guys are laughing. You guys are having fun without me back here. Okay, very good. That was a great question, Karen. Yeah, very good question. All right, self-destruct in about what?
T minus
wait, hold on.
16.7 minutes.
All right, so you guys can schedule a 10-minute one-on-one. The link to schedule that, if you're on Facebook, is shirleysolis.youcanbook.me. shirleysolis.youcanbook.me. Okay? All right, you guys, if you want to join us, powerfulparentingacademy.com/join. And last minute words from our sponsors.
Love you guys.
I sell computers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for everything.
All right, guys, have an amazing night. I hope you enjoyed it.
He's like holding this like it was
Guys, I give me this. I'll take this
See
really
you
quick.
in the future.
Hashtag not a real mic.
Hashtag not a real mic. We love you guys. Take care. We have fun.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.
Woohoo!
Shut the Facebook.
Bye. Yeah, we have to turn off Facebook. Love you guys.
Oh my God, you're such a dork.
Bye.